Hey everybody, it's Pete Martini with Racer X Tested. We're out here today at Paula Raceway. We got a 2014 KX450. We've got Andy back in for you to put it through its paces. Death family in the house. So let's cut to the chase, get this thing on the track. We used our good buddies over at Yoshimura R&D to go through the bike for us, and they went ahead and did a stage 1 port and polish on the head of this bike, and they coupled that with a factory stage 1 RS4 full titanium with a carbon tip exhaust system, get this thing breathing a little bit better. They also put in a twin air filter with the CNC basket. That really gives this bike a lot more breathing room. Obviously a 450's got plenty of power. We really just wanted to harness it a little bit more, make it a little bit more smooth, and we think we accomplished that with what we did here. We also put on the dyno, and we really followed the stock curve of the normal power band, which was cool. We just found this thing will really go up into the R's more, and it's got a little bit more usable power going through the top. It's just a little bit more beefy. We also put on a CV4 radiator cap. It's a high pressure cap there that'll help on the cooling system of the bike. We also put in a CP piston, get the throttle kind of moving a little bit better there. We got a Moto Tazaneri air boot on this bike. Again, that's all part of the breathing, letting this thing kind of open up and breathe a little bit better. And again, this exhaust system makes the bike a little bit lighter overall, helping the rider feel a little bit more comfortable in that level. For the brakes, we ran a stock brake in the back. We went ahead and put an oversized Brembo in the front. We want to thank W for hooking us up on that. Renthal bars and grips. We did run a Works Connection perch. It's got a stock throw. It works really good with the Hinson clutch we put in this bike. Give it that race feel on the clutch feel. We also put our good friends at Dunlop put on some MX51 Geomaxes front and rear. Help us with a little bit of the grip. Decal Works handled the graphics kit on this bike. Of course, we ran the 167 for Mr. Andy Backen. And on top of that, we got the Syker's got a full coverage skid plate. We ran that on the bottom of this bike. It's a really good item also to put on this bike. And aside from that, really, it's just ready to rip. We also sent the suspension over to Factory Connection. They went ahead and did a full revalve and spring for this bike. They're out here today to do some tuning for us also. Maybe go through the clickers, set the sag for Andy, in case we want to tweak it a little bit for the conditions of the track. Factory Connection is a good way to go when you want to talk about suspension for any new bike. Since Yoshimura went ahead and did the head for this bike, we decided to couple it with the stock application in the gearing, but we went with Renthal sprockets, both front and rear. So that's a 1350, and then we coupled that with an arcade chain. That put together the whole drive chain for us. Again, a little bit of a stock feel. Again, on the dyno, we were really good with power, so we just wanted to really make it smooth and easy working.
Hey guys, Andy Backen out here at Paula Raceway with Racer X. We have a 14 Kawasaki 450. Yoshimura did the motor work and put an exhaust system on it. And I rode the stock 14 a couple months back, and with the Yoshimura system and porting it, it really smoothed out the power, and it gave pretty much an overall boost everywhere, and it seemed to rev out pretty good, and it was really smooth. So I like the power from the stock to the Yoshimura setup. The biggest change coming from the 14 stock setup to the setup we got here was the Factory Connection suspension settings. They're out here working with us, and it seemed to really help out a lot, setting it up for my weight and everything. Seemed to not want to dive as much, the forks coming into corners, and that was pretty much the biggest change that I noticed on this.